So it feels like it ought to be playful, it ought to be fun, it ought to be creative, it ought to be open for anything that can happen. Like, instead of pre-planning it, it's spontaneous, and it feels like the spiritual energy has a space to create, because there's nothing already created in front of it. So every time I put like how I want to do it in advance, the energy gets stifled and I don't know what to do, and I'm like, I only have so much air space to play in, and I limit myself. And this one, it's expansive is what it feels. And it allows, I guess I'm going to say a different way, right? It allows God to come in and do his magic.
That's what he wants to do. He wants to work with us so that people can experience him through us.
Right. And that's a moment by moment thing, right? I had this thought yesterday that I'm so busy trying to worry about my future, whether I have enough money, where the world is going. And I was so busy, and every time I thought about it, it never felt good. What it made me do is it made me think, oh, I don't have enough. I have to work really hard to make so much money so that I can retire after, I don't know, however money I want. And the truth is, there isn't a limit of the amount of money that I would want. There is no limit, right? I would want limitless, unlimited amount of money for my future. And then in that whole thought process, I had to come back and say, okay, well, where am I now? Now, if I'm trying to build that idea of the future that I have in my mind, I already can see that I have a lot of steps to do to go from here to there. So now with the race is on, the chase is on, I'm ready to, hunker down, work really hard, and put the grinding in, right? and then checking in to see, am I there yet? Am I there yet? And every day I feel like, wow, I'm still not there, and I still have so many years of grinding work to do. And the whole time I missed out on having fun, enjoying, being here, relaxing, and I couldn't get out of my head. And so all of a sudden I realized that, okay, well, every time I think about my past, it's not helping because it's not here. Every time I think about my future, it's not helping because I'm not there. And I'm always wanting to go somewhere where it's not here. And the only place I don't want to be is here doing work all the time. And I'm always in the middle between where I am and where I'm going. And I don't know if I ever reached, actually, I've reached many milestones and arrived, but I never really sat there after I arrived, right? I had to pick up and start moving again. Keep going, keep going. It's this race. I keep racing towards some unknown future. And some people on TV and advertisements, they show me what the future looks like because it's a lot of money there. It's a tropical island, right? You can own your own island somewhere, sit and do nothing and sip Mai Tais or whatever, right? I'm going to say it's pretty. It feels good, but it's boring. There's no challenge. There's nothing there at the end. If I didn't live in the journey along the way, I am not going to be at peace because I didn't practice peace throughout my whole getting there. I didn't practice being at peace with myself, being right here. So I don't see how I'm going to be at peace with myself when I get there. I'm still bringing the same person over there. I'm just going to be like, well, how do I get into something? This is nice, but it's boring. And I really feel like not having enough and having the struggles is what really keeps us alive. Having everything is just great for a while. What did you say?
Boring.
Boring. It's boring. Oh my gosh. I like challenges. I like to see what I can do. And I think the joy comes in when I overcome and move through a challenge and I'm ready to get on to the next one. I might celebrate it and enjoy it that I overdid, but I can't wait to get into something else.
Because you like movement. You like movement. You like things to be moving. But this takes me back to something you said yesterday, and I said it to you twice when we talked yesterday. You said, and I wrote it down, you said, choose what you have so you can get power over it. Live the life you have now because you really did choose it at some point in your life. That life is what happens while you're making plans. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because that's exciting to me.
Well, somebody had mentioned that, so that's not my quote, that life is what happened. I don't know whose it is. It's not my quote. I didn't, but I do recognize that I don't, sometimes things just happen and I'm choosing along the way, but I'm not reminding myself, or I'm not recognizing. And sometimes at moments I can recognize and say, I'm here because I have made all these choices along the way to be right here, even though those choices were in my mind, I was thinking I was going to be somewhere else, right? But those choices have led me to be right here. And so I have, if I can accept that I made the choices, it's still my choice to be right here. And I would rather choose this to be right here in my life, right where I'm at, then let's put it anyway. Let's be anybody else or anywhere else, right? Because I already just took out the future. If I don't want to be on the tropical island, sitting nothing, doing nothing, being bored, I've already taken that one out. And I don't want to be in the poverty in the past where I'm struggling. So I've already taken that one out. Then I'm right in the middle of it all, where I still have the possibility to go to the tropical island. You know, I'm always right here getting to decide what I want next, but the future is an illusion and the past is an illusion. And so all I've got is, okay, I'm right here. At least I'm right here. That's all I have to be, is right here. So I take a deep breath and I'm like, everything is okay. I'm right here. I'm in the middle of it all, which is where I like it. I like it right here in the middle of everything, because I don't want it all fixed and created perfect.
Right.
I don't want it all struggled all the time, but I'm right in the middle of it all and I've got options. That's
And
it.
like you said, you have power at that point to make a different choice if you didn't like the choice you made before.
Right.
But it's so true. We live in the moment, and every moment before and every moment afterward, it's an illusion. It either no longer exists or it doesn't exist yet.
Yes.
So having that power in the moment to actually guide your life consciously and, you know, where you want it to be from moment to moment, that is powerful.
Right. Well, I actually needed to just, I'm always choosing the best possible choice in the moment. I am never choosing that is not my best choice, with all in context, right? Within the situation. Within that situation, I'm choosing that's what I can do, be the best. And I think everybody is choosing the best possible choice they can make within the situation they're in. And sometimes we think we want to be out of the situation or we want to be in somebody else's. The grass seems so much greener, or the water seems so much bluer somewhere else for somebody else, because I can't imagine how they create their life. And they can tell me that, oh, it's easy. That's great. They can tell me that it's easy. And they can tell me that it's easy for me to decide because they're not in the situation with me. So I learned something. Somebody, oh, I think Brene Brown said something. She's like, I don't take advice or feedback from people who are not in the arena.
Right.
If they are not going through, if they don't really have an experiential understanding of the situation and they've really not been in there, they're not the people to take feedback from or criticism from. So that was really, really, anyway. But that's my point.
That's true. They're not in the game. How you going to tell me how to play the game? You don't play the game. And even if you have played the game, how can you tell me to win the game when you haven't won the game?
Right. But I think playing the game is winning the game. I think if you're playing, it takes courage just to step in and play. And then just keep going in the game, right? And I think there's parts of us that the winning and losing is, so I decided to play a game. And I wouldn't have played the game, but to me, step one was getting in the game, like this trucking business, right? So I got into it. So that was a win. I did it. I got in. If step one was just to get in it, I got in it. Now I might bail out, but I didn't bail out. So I stayed in year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. So as long as I don't bail out, or I don't, I don't consider myself a failure, then I'm good. If you know what I mean. So if somebody had a measuring stick, which I had the situation recently, when I compare myself to all these people who have nice jobs, nice retirement, they can travel everywhere. They're my old friends, right? They didn't change anything. They didn't take any risks. They were consistently living boring lives to save money so they can have retirement now, which is great for them. And it looks really good. But the days that they're not traveling or using, they're doing boring things. They're doing the same old, which works. That's not me.
Right.
I need to serve. I need to interact. I need to engage. I need to be part of something bigger than have all my ducks in a row and look so good. So I don't know if I can look good anywhere. I can just be the best I can be, but looking good is not going to work for me. So that's what and they've shown me that, oh, well, even though that looks good from the outside and it's a really nice mirage, I want to go chase that. And I realize that's never going to be me, collecting, accumulating stuff and hoarding it and storing it, and and that's not what feeds me. It might take care of me and I might have a good life. I'm not saying I won't have a good life. I might have a good life, but that's not the purpose of my life. My life is, what am I doing here? Why am I here just sitting around in a tropical island when I can actually be serving somebody, helping somebody, contributing somehow, and looking at the talents and skills that I have? I want to be in service. I'm not here to sit on a tropical island, So that's my 2 cents on it.
I agree.
I want to choose what I'm choosing right now.
Right.
I can stop myself for trying to live somebody else's life.
But in the end, our life is the most ideal for us.
Right.
You wouldn't be happy living anybody else's life. And one of the things that I know people like what you're talking about, they really are, they're chilling out. They have, worked their careers and they've stored up a lot of
They
money
paid
and
their
things.
dues.
They have. But my thing is, you still have to live today. You can't sit and wait for the future to happen to you. You have to use what you have today to make an impact in the world, to share with other people, and to create some fun in your life. If you're just doing the same thing day after day after day, that's a waste of a life, in my opinion. Everybody has the right to live their own way. But my whole thing is, what if you don't get it tomorrow? And you wait, and you, for the last 2 years, you've been waiting for tomorrow to come and you don't get one. We're not promised tomorrow. Live today. I tell my daughter all the time, when I pass away, don't send me any flowers. Give me flowers now.
Right.
Give them to me. If you want me to have something, give it to me while I'm here. Don't wait. So they should be smelling the roses and engaging in different and unique things. And I find that a lot of people like that, they get to a point where they're comfortable, they're preparing for their future, where they'll have to, have enough money to live comfortably in their future, but they can't stop. They stop. They cut off all activity.
Right.
They're just like a lump on a log. They're just there. That's not life either.
That's not life either. But I think the key is that if you enjoy and love serving and meeting people and doing that, I think that's what it is. I think I went to years ago, maybe 2010, long time ago. I took my kids to Pensacola.
Yeah.
At the beach. And I took 4 boys, my 2 boys and their friends.
Okay.
Right? The 2 boys, 4 boys and me. And I can tell you, I was on a vacation with 4 boys and I was frustrated. That was not a vacation for me. It was watching over these boys, trying to keep them out of trouble, making sure they're all doing whatever, they're just keeping an eye on them. It was work, right? To me, I wasn't just relaxed sitting on the thing and do whatever you want. No, I was paying attention. So and then but at the hotel I observed the help people who were cleaning the rooms, and they were just coming out of the room and they were just chatting and they were happy and they were just having such a good time. And I was like on vacation, miserable, and they were working, having a good time. And that really told me a lot about how life is. When you're serving and you're doing something, it's not really work if you're having a good time. Even if you're on a vacation, you can have a miserable vacation, because that was me. So happiness had nothing to do with it. Being on a vacation is not happy. Being happy is a vacation.
I like that. That is so true.
Right?
I like that.
You want to get away from yourself, just be happy.
Right, exactly.
I took the misery with me to the vacation. I'm like, oh my God. This was that.
You're supposed to leave it there.
I was supposed to leave it there, right? I was supposed to leave, but no. But I am who I am no matter where I go. So whether I'm sitting at the beach or whether I'm, at home, I took everything with me, my baggage and all, expecting the vacation to really revive me or replenish me or bring me back to life. Whatever it was, I had more expectation out of the vacation than me taking what I needed to take to the vacation, which was peace, energy, happiness, whatever it was. I learned a lot. I learned a lot that day when I saw those people.
Yeah.
Just being happy working and being with people. And so I guess happiness really isn't outside of ourselves. It's just, are you deciding to be happy? And I wasn't at that time. I really
it's
wasn't.
a choice. It's a daily choice, and it's intentional.
Right.
And me, what it means, because you know how I am, I'm pretty much upbeat most of the time. Every now I have a quieter day, but it only lasts one day because I don't allow myself a lot of time for that. To me, it's easy for me to carry happiness in my heart when I think about how grateful I am for what I have, for what I have survived through, and because of the people who are in my life who are important to me.
Right.
That's richness. That's real richness there. Because I was going through, I'm working on this special project. So I'm making a list and I'm going through my phone and I'm thinking of all of these people and I'm going through my phone and there's some people I haven't talked to in a really long time. I'm like, she's so cool. I really love her. She's so cool. He's so cool. This is so nice. So on Mother's Day, I had a chance to send a lot of people a Mother's Day greeting. And they were like, it's been so long since we talked, but it helped me realize I have this richness around me. I have every reason to be happy. I'm only can kind of guarantee 24 hours. I'm not promised tomorrow. So if I can pack in that 24-hour period, all the happiness, joy, and richness and service in my life that I can give away and that I can receive from others, then I'm happy. Because I made it through that 24-hour period. I overcame the challenges of the day with a positive attitude. I didn't allow anything to stop me or cause me to procrastinate or anything like that. To me, that's happiness.
Right. And
like I said, I live in 24-hour compartments. I don't live into next year and the year after and all of that.
Right. Yeah, I think that works because otherwise you'd have to go into some mental idea of what it would look like. Right, which is nothing wrong with that because you are creating it from that mental idea. But you're able to keep it, so that works.
Yeah.
I can only go so far, and then I'm like, I have to regroup. I can only go so far. So I can't, I used to chase a dream, right? I used to chase that when I make this, when I do this, when I do this. And that's not working. And I don't know if that's working for anybody. And so I think I see a lot more people wanting to be rich and millionaires and all of that. And that's great. Nothing wrong with it. I really think if we had a lot more millionaires, the money would be stored and invested for their own personal gain. So it really wouldn't be trickling down to the rest of the communities. And so everybody's trying to get to the top all of a sudden, be millionaires. And my dad told me this story, and I think it's in one of the books, The Millionaire Next Door. And he said, he wakes up one day, the character wakes up and everybody's a millionaire. That means he goes to open the door and there's no newspaper. And he opens a fridge, there's no milk. There's no eggs. There's no fruits. Because everybody's a millionaire, nobody wants to work. And oh my God, in that COVID time, we really experienced that. Nobody wants to work. If you have money, you don't want to work. This is what everybody's going towards. Could you imagine the whole planet? Everybody feels like they don't want to work. Nobody's going, so we're not getting the services that we need. So we're not really enjoying the work that we're doing. So those people that are doing labor work, if they enjoy it, that's the best thing they're doing. The joy is in the work. And I think that's what everybody, we all trying to find out is what is the work that we do that brings us joy? Because that joy is our payment, because then somebody will pay us for that, right? And
right.
Work so it doesn't feel, there is no such thing as no work.
No, we need all of these people, services. We need all of those things. And it's true what you're saying. There are some people who they have this large amount of money. They're set. They don't want to work. But the mistake is that they take the currency out of circulation. And we are all connected. We were talking about this earlier about how we're all connected.
Right.
Or should be trying to be connected, because that's where the fruit really is. A healthy bounty for everyone is when the roots are tightly connected and nourishing the fruit. But when you take it out of circulation, taking money out of circulation is I have my thoughts
Yeah,
about
as soon as,
it.
as soon as
But
somebody
what if you
becomes a
take
billionaire,
you out of but don't take yourself out of circulation.
right,
We need each other.
yeah,
That's why each of us have gifts, different gifts and talents. And if I use my talents to help you and you help somebody else and somebody, then no one would actually be in need. There would be plenty for everyone to go around. No one would be without anything.
right,
But don't take your gifts and talents and your special perspectives and experiences. Don't take that out of circulation either. There's
right,
someone who can use your wisdom, who can learn from your past, can learn from the path that you've taken, understand your journey. It might give somebody hope, you know? So
yeah.
that's I think that's sad for them, because then they also miss the experience of someone else. But we're not meant to be here as an island. That's why there's 6
No,
billion
and
here.
I think they
Right.
think differently. I think they do. And some of them do. They do come back and
Sure.
reciprocate and give back and stuff like
A
that.
lot.
But I think that idea, so here's, I think, when we start looking to build to give back,
Right.
then more likely going to receive, because why would the universe want to get, want you to have all of this so you can store it in some silo? That doesn't make sense, right? So I think you really do. And that when that money is out of circulation, there's not enough for everybody else to
Yeah.
survive on. So we're somebody is getting all this fruits at the expense of everybody else, and somehow that doesn't resonate with me at all.
It
It's
doesn't serve humanity.
it doesn't serve humanity, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with making money. I'm just saying that
Mhm.
there something is imbalanced,
Yeah.
and it doesn't sit well with me. So I can't seem to find a way to um we might have to cut this part off. I can't seem to find a way to push my desire to making money without really, I think it's more about giving. I just rather go and give and really let things come, because if I'm not getting enough, it's clearly and truly I'm not giving enough.
You get what you give. But
Right.
then when we look at people that have a lot of money, what's up with that?
So
But
there,
then they may be getting money, but they may not be getting wealth, riches in life, fulfilled life.
so they might be getting that too, because
Yeah.
so
What does that mean?
well, somebody who's working, there's levels of giving, right? There's
Yeah.
levels. If somebody can give physical labor, and that's what they're able to do. And then if they raise their level of awareness, I think that's what the key is, right? You keep raising your level of awareness and your skills and ability to manage and lead a wide variety of projects or people or organizations or something like that. And that level of responsibility is much higher. So even though it doesn't feel like they're working, but they're working at a different level. They're working internally, doing their own personal growth work, which is what helps them to manage. Now, who they become is really the key issue, right? Because all of us have qualities that we can nurture and qualities that we can let go. And I can't really tell you honestly that who I would be if I had a lot of money. I can't tell you until I experience it. I can tell you I'm always going to keep myself in check. I'm never going to go to that point. I'd probably never act out and do crazy, wild things that will be hurting humanity in any way, only because I don't do that now.
Right, exactly.
Right? I'm already in check now, so I know I'm not going to do that later. So I don't drink and I don't smoke and I don't do drugs. So all of that stuff I'm probably not going to do when I get more, and I'm more, and the more, actually, I'm going to go back a little bit. the more I realize that the importance of taking care of my health and the importance of eating right and the importance of being more caring right here, it
Yeah,
really takes less. The more money is not so necessary. When the fear is gone, you don't need so much. More money is not going to help you, is what I'm going to say.
right.
Do you know what I mean? If you really start putting the pieces together in terms of what you really need to live, I think we did some math, right? So if you even to live a good lifestyle for 20 years, if you had $2 to $3 million, that's the rest of your lifestyle. So that could really, I don't mind experiences. I just don't need stuff.
Right.
It's not working for me, so I can't seem to. But I'm okay with that. I mean, I'll go and enjoy somebody else's stuff is what I'll do. I'll go to a resort or go to a hotel and enjoy it, and they'll be done.
Right. Because I look at a lot of people and I see their stuff and I'm like, I don't want it because I don't want the car note. I don't want the insurance. I don't want this. I don't want that. I'll be so, getting something is one thing. We know that when we went to college. You can get the A. You're going to keep it?
All right.
It's maintaining it. That's the hard job that I am not interested in. So.
All my trinkets collect dust. I don't want to
and we have to keep cleaning them.
keep cleaning them every single time.
Really
And that
clean.
becomes,
They become
I don't want that to be more important than the people. I think that's what it is.
Right.
I don't want that to be more important than the people that I'm connected to. So
right.
I could be learning. Maybe I could learn better, but I don't want that to be more important than people.
Right. Exactly.
So anyway.
Well, this was good. This was a good conversation. What do you think?
We got some things out. A lot of stuff came out. It was organic. It was definitely, there it is. We might have to add some more questions and make it more specific so it's topic oriented. We did jump around a lot, but I like the platform and the way we're doing it. So at least we can get snippets out, if nothing else.
We can get nice snippets out of this. We really can. So I'm looking forward to it. And I think that out of this conversation, we did jump around, but those are topics that were on our mind and on our hearts that we wanted to express.
Right.
I think that just going through this video and jotting down the things that we were talking about and creating a full conversation around that. And like I said, I'd really like to see other people get involved that can really contribute to the conversation from a different perspective. I think that that's always fun.
Good. So we can actually invite somebody for a conversation and have them join in the conversation. And that's all it is.
That's all it is. That's what I said. This is a conversation with Coach Archana. So I would like to see maybe 5 of us, 4, 5. I don't know. That's what's in my mind. What's in your mind?
I don't know. So I'm going to have to, first of all, I'm definitely going to go get myself feeling good and, a little bit more dressier than what I am today. So I don't know if this is going to go.
It was our test. We have to start somewhere. And
no, it was good. Glad we started it. So
we got some good stuff. We really did. And it was
so
a good
5 people sounds like a really good way for people to come in invitation and on a topic and just explore possibilities. Right.
Right. Do you know
like
of a few people that I'll think about it because I want people that are sincere and genuine. I know that I do know one lady. Her name is Jennifer Bean. I call her Jennifer. And I don't know why I always called her that, but she is authentic.
Okay.
She's a little bit older, but she's completely engaged. She thinks for herself. She's been through a lot. And she's a really great piece of wisdom, sound wisdom. I always like to talk to Jennifer, always, because I always learn something from her. She always inspires me to look at things from a more mature perspective, because she's
Good.
been through a lot. She's
Okay.
the Assistant Director of Health at the Clayton County Board of Health.
Okay.
So I like Jennifer. So that's someone I would trust to understand what we're trying to do. Because that's another thing. We
I
have to
like
find.
that.
So, right, I trust her to just be open, and I think you'll love her. So do you have someone you think might be a good fit? Because it'll probably grow over time. But
Right. I think so. Do you think it would be the same person every conversation, or it's just different? We invite different people.
different people.
Okay.
And
So I
as
think,
you know, we can invite people to be part of the conversation, to introduce themselves to us. We don't openly invite them to be part of the conversation. But what I mean by that is that we can start to see how people respond in their comments and things like that. And then if at some point they have a comment that is solid, we can invite them. Come on, it's just a girlfriend talk. Come on and talk.
exactly. I like that. And I think as I see this possibility opening up, I
Yes.
like the idea of actually looking at some real life issues
Yeah.
or at various different degrees in terms of poverty and you know, just a world and how we see the world of the view is changing, getting worldview perspectives to really shifting it to a different lighter perspective, like
Right.
just things like that. I think
Yeah,
it
because the world is suffering. The world is
yeah,
suffering. And this might be just the ticket for them to get some nuggets that they can use towards their own life,
right.
you know, without it being in some formal setting or some paid experience or something like that. Because I want to introduce you to Myron Golden. Do you know who he is? Well, he's a very unique gentleman that's been through a lot. When he was a little kid, he contracted polio,
Okay.
but he never let it stop him. And he has a unique, I'm just getting to know him myself, but I'm inspired, but he has a unique take on certain things. And you know what might be nice too, is that if we find something like that we find valuable, we can show it and then we can talk about it, our perspectives, so that we don't necessarily have the only idea of the topic.
Right.
But because what I realize with Mr. Golden is everybody's not ready for Mr. Golden.
Right.
So even though I find his perspective valuable, and I believe there's a lot of truth in what he says, everybody won't receive it necessarily from him, but maybe they'll, after watching it for a few minutes, and then we talk about what he said on a more down-to-earth level, because he is down to earth, but his appearance, his pride, his confidence is at a level that I can see it could intimidate some of the people that we're trying to serve. I myself don't get intimidated and I don't get jealous. When I see somebody that has what I want, or that I can, something that's inside that I can appreciate, no, I'm just going to do the work and get there. It's not about, I'm not trying to take anything from you, but this is something I'd like to add to my backpack, to my toolkit, to be the best person I can be. So I'm going to try to work it out and see how I can do that.
Right.
So yeah, because he had a talk on, he did a TED talk, and it was on procrastination. And I took it to a whole new level, something that worked for me. And it really did, you know, like I said, he's educated and he's global and he's multimillionaire, and I don't look at him like that. I'm just looking for the little piece of what you have to offer that will make me better. So
Okay.
that's one thing I don't do. I don't compare myself to other people because there's no one like me. Not really about being about you. And you know what? I was grateful for that the other day. I said, I've always liked me. That has helped. It really has helped. I've always appreciated my crazy humor, my
Right.
psychotic side,
Right.
my nasty attitude side. I entertain myself.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
hear-
thing.
I hear
That-
you on that one. I hear you on that one.
Okay,
So-
I'm gonna stop the recording because I want us to take a look at it. So
Okay.
let's the recording, stop recording and it'll start. Oh, it won't form. That's right, until after we get off the Zoom.
Yeah.